Thank you for joining our Sabbath Day class. This is the School of Knowledge with the Yehudah Project. We are back with our information about the 1,000-year reign, and I just wanted to follow up with some things that were discussed yesterday. Last week, we had talked about the 12 prophets returning. And I just wanted to kind of put that on the record in terms of where that would be. That is going to be 2nd Ezra, chapter 1. And 2nd Ezra is found in the book of the Apocrypha, in the original 1611 Bible, that they took these books out for some reason. Nobody knows why, but they took these books out. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. So 2nd Ezra, chapter 1. Verse 32, it says, I sent unto you my servants, the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain. So he's telling you that you done killed off all my prophets, and tore their bodies in pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, saith the Most High. So these prophets are dead. He said, Thus saith the Almighty Elohim, your house is desolate, I will cast you out as the wind doeth stubble. 34, and your children shall not be fruitful, for they have despised my commandments, and done the thing that is an evil before me. Your houses will I give to a people that shall come, which not having heard of me yet shall believe me, and to whom I have showed no signs, yet they shall do that I have commanded them. They have seen no prophet. Can you hear?
Yeah,
they shall.
We can't. Oh, I'm sorry. We can't see what you're reading on the screen.
All right, thank you, babe. Thank you so much. Can you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it now. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. They have seen no prophets, yet they shall call their sins to remembrance and acknowledge them. I take to witness the grace of the people to come, whose little ones rejoice in gladness, and though they have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in their spirit they believe the thing that I say. This is the Most High speaking. He said, I'm coming. He said, you have torn my prophets apart, you have killed them, you have slain them. Watch what he says. And now, brethren, behold what glory, and see the people that come from the east. These are people coming. Watch what he says. Unto whom I will give for leaders. He said, Abraham. Is Abraham dead right now, you guys?
Yeah.
Isaac? Did Isaac die?
Yes.
Did Jacob die? Yep. Hosea, Amos, Micah, Joel, Abidas, which is Obadiah, and Jonas. All of this is in 2nd Ezra, chapter 1. Watch what he says. Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, which is Zephaniah, Ahaggius, which is Haggai, Zachary, which is Zechariah, and Malachi, which is Malachi, which is called also an angel of the Most High. So if he's going to give them to us for leaders, and he's sending them, they got to come back. So this is where you get the scripture from. Exactly where you get the scripture from. Anybody have any questions? Any questions? Nobody have any questions? Okay, let me keep moving. So we're going to deal with the resurrection. We have to deal with the resurrection again because I want to make sure that everything is clear about this resurrection. So last week we talked about the two priesthoods. You're going to have a resurrected priesthood from the order of Melchizedek, and you're going to have a human priesthood. And I want to make sure we understand the difference because this is so very important. So let's go back to the scriptures. Matthew chapter 19. Verse 27, it says, Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? This is very important. He's talking to the disciples. And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, he also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So we have established that the 12 tribes of Israel will be in the regeneration. It is a regeneration coming, which means that they will be what? Born again. And we already discussed who those people are. Those are the people who died not knowing they were Israel, died believing they were Gentiles or African Americans or black or whatever they thought they were. He's going to bring those people back. Watch. He said, and everyone that hath forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or land for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. So there's a criteria for that. You have to be able to get that. It's very important that we understand that. He said, but many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So I want to make sure we covered that again. And then we're going to have power over the nations. Let's go into Revelation chapter 2, verse 26. And it says, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. He says, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. And I will give him the morning star. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. Now we dealt with the mortal priesthood. The reason why I brought this in is because this is very important when we deal with this priesthood thing. Because I have to establish that there's a mortal priesthood, which means they are human. They're going to be born into the priesthood. They're going to run the priesthood. They're going to run the temple. Ezekiel 44:1. He said, then he brought me back the way of the gate of the outward sanctuary, which looketh toward the east, and it was shut. I showed you that last week. And he said unto me, this gate shall be shut, it shall not be open, and no man shall enter in by it, because the Most High, the Elohim of Israel, hath entered in by it. Therefore it shall be shut. It is for the prince. The prince, he shall sit in it to eat bread before the Most High. He shall enter by the way of the porch of that gate, and shall go out by the way of the same. Then brought he me the way of the north gate before the house, and I looked, and behold, the glory of the Most High filled the house of the Most High, and I fell upon my face. And the Most High said unto me, Son of man, mark well, and behold with thine eyes, and hear with thy ears all that I say unto thee concerning all the ordinances of the house of the Most High, and all the laws thereof. So the law will be there. And mark well the entering in of the house with every going forth of the sanctuary. And thou shalt say to the rebellious, even to the house of Israel, thus saith the Most High Elohim, O ye house of Israel, let it suffice you of all your abominations, in that ye have brought into my sanctuary strangers, uncircumcised in heart, and uncircumcised in the flesh, to be in my sanctuary to pollute it. Even my house, when ye offered up my bread, the fat and the blood, and they have broken my covenant because of all your abominations. And ye have not kept the charge of my holy things, but ye have set keepers of my charge in my sanctuary for yourselves. So they was appointing people to do it. Here, you do that, you can do over there. Ain't this supposed to be your job? No, you can do it today. Thus saith the Most High Elohim, no stranger, uncircumcised in heart, nor uncircumcised in flesh, shall enter into my sanctuary, of any stranger that is among the children of Israel. That's just like your parents saying, I'm about to leave. And when I leave, don't let nobody up in this house. I don't want nobody up in here but you. And then you let your friends come in and be like, you can come on in here, girl. Go ahead and eat that food that's in there. Make sure you wash up all. They had other people in there. That's how bold they were. That's why we're sitting in these lands right now, because they had no fear for him. They just did what they wanted to do. Watch. And the Levites that are gone away from me, far from me, when Israel went astray, which went astray away from me after their idols, they shall even bear their iniquity. Yet they shall be ministers in my sanctuary, having charge at the gates of the house, and ministering to the house. And they shall slay the burnt offering and the sacrifice for the people, and they shall stand before them to minister unto them. Because they ministered unto them before their idols, and caused the house of Israel to fall into iniquity. Therefore have I lifted up my hand against them, saith the Most High Elohim, and they shall bear their iniquity. I know we read this last week, but this is important. And they shall not come near unto me to do the office of a priest unto me, nor to come near to any of my holy things in the most holy place. And they shall bear their shame and their abominations which they have committed. And I will make them keepers of the charge of the house, for all the service thereof, and for all that shall be done therein. And the priests, the Levites, the son of Zadok, that kept the charge of my sanctuary when the children of Israel went astray from me, they shall come near to me to minister unto me, and they shall stand before me to offer unto me the fat and the blood, saith the Most High Elohim. They shall enter into my sanctuary, and they shall come near to my table to minister unto me, and they shall keep my charge. And it shall come to pass, when they enter in at the gates of the inner court, they shall be clothed with linen garment. No wool shall come upon them, whilst they minister in the gate of the inner court and within. And they shall have linen bonnets upon their heads, and they shall have linen breeches upon their loins, and they shall not gird themselves with anything that causes sweat. And when they go forth into the utter court, even into the utter court to the people, they shall put off their garments, wherein they ministered, and lay them in the holy chamber, and they shall put on other garments, and they shall not sanctify the people with their garments. So she said, change clothes. Whatever you was in when you came before me, take it off when you're dealing with the people. Protocols. Neither shall they shave their head, nor suffer their locks to grow long. They shall only poll their head. So there was a standard for the way that their hair was. Neither shall any priest drink wine when they enter into the inner courts. So you cannot have any wine when you go on the premises to take care of the Most High's things. Neither shall they take for their wives a widow, nor her that is put away, but they shall take maidens of the seed of the house of Israel, or a widow that had a priest before. So anytime they are allowed to get married, they are human. This is the point I want to drive home. This is one of the ways we know that this is a human priesthood. One priesthood is immortal, the other priesthood is human. If they're allowed to get married, they're human. They haven't received everlasting life yet. That's what I want to really say. They haven't received everlasting life yet. And they shall teach my people the difference between the holy and the profane, and cause them to discern between the unclean and the clean. So they are teaching the Israelite people who are born into the kingdom how to keep His laws, statutes, and commandments. This is coming from them. And in controversy they shall stand in judgment, and they shall judge it according to my judgments. They shall keep my laws, there's the law, and my statutes and all my assemblies, and they shall hallow my Sabbaths. So even though we're going to be in His kingdom, and Christ will be there, the Messiah will be there, His laws are going to be there, His statutes are going to be there, and His assemblies will be there, and all of His Sabbaths will be there. It's going to be there. So all this stuff they're talking about, well, He died for your sins, so you ain't got to keep the law, that is definitely error in teaching. He said, and they shall come at no dead person to defile themselves, but for father or for mother or for son or for daughter or for brother or for sister that have no husband, they may defile themselves. And after he is cleansed, they shall reckon unto him 7 days. And in the day that he goeth into the sanctuary, unto the inner court to minister in the sanctuary, he shall offer his sin offering, saith the Most High Elohim. And it shall be unto them for an inheritance. I am their inheritance. And ye shall give them no possession in Israel. I am their possession. And they shall eat the meat offering and the sin offering and the trespass offering, and every dedicated thing in Israel shall be theirs. And the first fruit of all things, and every oblation of every sort of your oblation shall be the priest. Ye shall also give unto the priest the first of your dough, that he may cause the blessing to rest in thine house. And the priest shall not eat of anything that is dead of itself or torn, whether it be fowl or beast. Any questions? Okay, let's keep going. He's going to be king of the earth. Zechariah chapter 14. It says, Behold, the day of the Most High cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, the houses raffled, and the women ravished. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. I want to make sure I'm still here. Okay, one moment. Then shall the Most High go forth and fight against those nations, as he fought in the day of battle. His feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east, and the Mount of Olives shall cleave. So the Mount of Olives is going to cut in half. Going to cut in half when he stands. In the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west. And there shall be a great valley, a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall be moved toward the north, and half of it toward the south. So the Mount of Olives is going to break in half. Watch. And ye shall flee to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach unto Azal. Yea, ye shall flee, like as ye fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Yehudah, and the Most High my Elohim shall come, and all the saints with him. And it shall come to pass in that day, that the light shall not be clear nor dark. And it shall be one day which shall be known to the Most High, not day nor night, but it shall come to pass that at eventime it shall be light. So the sun going to stay up in this day. And it shall be in that day that living waters shall go out from Jerusalem, half of them toward the former sea, and half of them toward the hinder sea. In the summer and in winter shall it be. And the Most High shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one Lord, and his name shall be one. He's going to be king over the earth. Well, wasn't that what he was trying to be anyway? Before we decided we wanted a human king, he wanted to be king over Israel. Now watch. All the land shall be turned as a plain from Geba to Rimmon, south of Jerusalem, and it shall be lifted up and inhabited in her place. From Benjamin's gate unto the place of the first gate, unto the corner gate, and from the tower of Haniel unto the king's winepress. And men shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction, but Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. There will be no wars. There will be no more of that. He is going to be king over all the earth. Any questions? Let me keep going. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Most High will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Most High shall be among them. And they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. He's going to turn them against each other. And Yehudah also shall fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together, gold and silver and apparel in great abundance. And so shall be the plague of the horse, of the mule, of the camel, of the ass, and of all the beasts that shall be in these tents as this plague. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left, so this is where all the other nations come in now. The ones that fought against Jerusalem, he's going to destroy. But everyone that is left of all nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, the Most High of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacle. We know this. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Most High of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague wherewith the Most High will smite the heathen that come up, that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacle. So the feast of days are going to be there. They're going to be required to live in tents. They're going to be required to keep this high holy day. And it shall be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacle. In that day there shall be upon the bells of the horses holiness unto the Most High, and the pots in the Most High's house shall be like the bowls before the altar. Yea, every pot in Jerusalem and in Yehudah shall be holiness unto the Most High of hosts, and all they that sacrifice shall come and take of them and see it therein. And in that day there shall be no more the Canaanites in the house of the Most High of hosts. Any questions? No questions? We're going to keep going. Now, I always tell me, if we don't say nothing, keep going. We're going to go back through the Ecclesiastes, the regeneration. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9, for some people who haven't read this. The thing that has been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. There is no new thing under the sun. So there's nothing on this earth new. I know they say the cell phones is new, the fighter jets is new, the boats is new, there's no electric car, there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing. It has already been. Watch. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It has been already of old times, which was before us. So that means that there was a time when this stuff has already ran its course. There's nothing new. It's just new to us. It's new to this generation. But it's already been discovered. It's already been made available to the public. We just weren't around when it happened. Everything. Hair weave ain't new, wigs there's nothing new under the sun. Watch what he says. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. So there's that scripture that says when the children of Israel are regenerated back into his kingdom and they come back into his kingdom, your mothers, your fathers, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, some of your children, your brothers and sisters, they won't remember you. Anybody have any questions? They won't remember any of this. It'll be all new to them. It'll be all over again. You guys still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're there. Because everybody be like, well, dag, my mother, there will be no remembrance of the things, of those things that shall come after. They won't remember you.
You know we're disappointed, but yes, that's true. Okay.
Why would you be disappointed, Sister Sanaya? Why would you be disappointed?
You know, I mean, I would love to see them again. I would love for them to see me again and acknowledge me.
So what about after the 1,000-year reign?
What about it?
When the Father comes and the city comes, will those people that were regenerated, will they remember then?
No. But there's no reason for them to remember you. Your job wasn't to be remembered. Your job was to be awakened. They gave birth to you for you to be awakened for such a time as this to do the will of the Father. They'll still get to come back, and they have to make their own way, and they have to be obedient just like we had to be obedient now. They have to keep the law, statutes, and the commandments just like we are required to now. And we haven't even begun to do what we've been required to do as of yet, because we're doing the best we can while we're in this captivity. But once we leave and we go to the place where he's going to prepare for us, that's when it really kicks in. You're really going to have to keep the Sabbath. You're going to have to keep the Feast of Tabernacle. It ain't going to be no, well, I can't do it because I got to work. There won't be, everything is going to shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that I know. I'm just saying the fact is that, right now, I miss my parents. And I'm quite sure those who don't have their parents anymore, if they had a great relationship, they miss theirs. And other relationships, even the family. And I was thinking that, maybe we would see everybody again, because you talk about one family reunion. That's what I'm talking about.
You'll see them. They just won't remember. They won't have any remembrance. You'll see them, and you'll know them, but they won't know you.
Yeah, but then again, you kind of like you're kind of wondering, like, you can see them, you remember, but they see you, they won't remember. How is that going to make us feel better?
That's how he set it up. He won't. But the thing is they'll know you, but you won't remember them. They'll know you, but you won't remember them. Because guess what? There's no remembrance of former things because they've been born again. They've been born again. You haven't. You have followed him into the regeneration because you have received everlasting life. That's the difference between the mortals and the immortals. They had to come back through the womb of the woman. They had to come back. They were regenerated. So they're starting all over again. As Israelites, we just found this out in the middle of our walk. So even though we found this out in the middle of our walk, our job is to get to do the best we can while we're here. But once we get to where we're going, we really have to begin to walk this thing out because there'll be no more obstacles. They won't remember. It says there's no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after.
Well, it seems like if they... Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, sis.
Oh, I was thinking that if they are going to be reborn again, from a woman, that they would all be younger than us then. So it's like we would see them be little kids, and they would be our parents. That's what it sounds like. You will.
They'll start all over again. You will. I believe you'll have the opportunity to see the whole story.
That's interesting.
Unless he lets them come back as adults, but in order they have to be born again. They won't have everlasting life, so they have to be born again. That's what he was trying to tell Nicodemus. You'll be able to see them start all over again. Please put your phone on mute. You'll see them start all over again. Watch what it says. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. It says, I know that whatsoever Yah doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. Israel doeth it, that men should fear before him. That which has been is now, and that which is to be has already been, and Israel requires that which is past. So everything that has been is now, and that which is to be has already been, and Israel requires that which is past. So it's a cycle. It's a constant cycle. It's a constant cycle. Watch what he says. Man. Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verse 10. This is how we prove it. That which has been is named already, and it is known that it is man. So man recycles itself. He regenerates himself. There's nothing new under the sun. Nobody's coming back as a new person. You're just regenerated. You're regenerated into yourself. Your life starts all over again. I was watching a video today about some scientists, and they were looking at the rock formations of the different places like the Grand Canyon and different places, and there were fossils that were embedded in the rock. And they were saying that these fossils that had been embedded in the rock were once under the water, and that that there are levels of rocks on top of each other, and they could tell by the colors of the stones where they came out of and how they were formed. And they were saying that these are thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. And I said to myself, I can believe that. I can believe that the earth is older than the story that we were given. But the difference is he only allows us to know what he did for us. Anything that happened before us, we won't know, but there are remnants of things to say that it's been around a long time. It's been around a long time. But the story begins with Adam and Eve for us. That's when it begins. Watch. Now we're going to talk about being born again, because this is a big issue. When we were in church, we went through this whole, we must be born again. And they baptized you, and they put you in a room, and in order for you to get the Holy Ghost, they said, you just got to say, Jesus, 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 Jesus. You was slobbing and spitting on your face, and Jesus, 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 until you started speaking in tongues. Am I right or wrong, Brother Uriah?
You're absolutely right.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about John chapter. Somebody please put your phone on mute. Here we go. He says, there was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. The same came to Yahushua by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from Israel. For no man can do these miracles that thou doest except Israel be with him. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of Israel. Nicodemus said unto him, How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born? And Yahushua answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of the water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of Israel. So this born again is necessary. You must be born. And now you got Caucasian pastors talking about regeneration. You must be born again. They are taking the information that we have shared and trying to put a spin on it. But it's true. Everybody has to go through the regeneration period. There's nothing new under the sun. They're not new either. Nobody is new. Nobody's new. Watch what he says. That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit. Marvel not that I say unto thee, you must be born again. The wind bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst not tell whence it cometh, and whither it goeth. So is everyone that is born of the Spirit. And that's the truth, because when the breath come in you, you don't know when that baby going to pick up that breath. Watch. Nicodemus answered and said unto him, how can these things be? Watch what he says. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, art thou a master of Israel and knowest not these things? He said, aren't you supposed to be the Pharisees, the one to teach the oracles of Israel, and you don't know this? Because he was sneaking. He didn't want his colleagues to know that he was sneaking to find out what it was he needed to know. But he didn't know what he needed to teach Israel. So that proves right there that even in this situation, there are those who believe that they are scholars, and then you find out that you really don't know anything. And that's why I was saying last Sunday when they were talking about the church was trying to get a group of people to come for us, please don't do that. And I'll say that again, please don't do that, because your mind is even not in the right place to be able to understand what we're talking about. You're just not there. Watch. Now we're going to get into the millennial 1,000 years of peace. Anybody have any questions? So I'll get to see my mother and my father come back as little bitty kids, but my mother and father will never meet again. They'll never meet. Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns?
No,
all right, let's talk. Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
In the new covenant, we're supposed to have a new spirit, new heart, and the word will be in us so that no man will have to teach another. We'll all know. How does that, from the least to the greatest, how does that fit in?
Well, in the new covenant, that is really, you know what, that would have to be the people who, if it's for the 1,000-year kingdom, then that would have to be the people that have already made it, because the other people have to be taught. The mortal priests have to teach those people how to do it. Now, if it's for after the millennial period, where he creates a new covenant with us, then that would be in the everlasting kingdom when the city comes down, because they have to be taught. Now, once they're taught and it stays into their mind, they still have to make a choice to do right or wrong, because there's still going to be sin. People are still going to transgress the law, because there would be no need for the priest to do the sacrificing of the animals if they didn't transgress the law. But it will probably already be in their heart. Once they teach it, they'll have it in their heart, but some people will still sin. And the way I look at that is there won't be any opposition. Like right now, there's opposition to keep the law. We tell people you have to keep the law. No, we don't. My pastor said that the law is done away with and it's been nailed to the cross because Christ died for our sins. Mm-hmm. There's an opposition because the enemy is here. It's there. We don't have the luxury of just having it, this is what it is and that's it, that's all. There's a controversy right now. And we're telling people, yes, you do. You must keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. And there's pushback. No, we don't. Because we have grace and mercy, we don't have to do that. Okay. And I believe it'll be in their heart. They will know it, but there will still be some people who will break it. There'll be some people who will break it.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, when we get to the wilderness, that group that may get to the wilderness, will they be given a new covenant and a new heart and mind?
Well, now, that's a whole nother teaching. I'll have to wait till we get to the wilderness. I don't want to get that confused because I started with his kingdom on purpose. Now, I'm going to go back and cover the wilderness as what happens once we come out, because once we get here, there's no wilderness, there's no nothing. He has moved into Jerusalem and he is ruling his kingdom. And this is the gospel that's supposed to be being preached, that his kingdom is coming. Nobody's teaching the gospel, that his kingdom is coming. They're not. They're teaching salvation, being born again, and the rapture, but they're not teaching that his kingdom is coming, and it's coming at a time where we are living on this earth right now. But I will go over that.
Thank you.
Isaiah 43, verse 10. He said, "Ye are my witnesses, saith the Most High, and my servant whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me and understand that I am he. Before me there is no Elohim form, and neither shall there be after me. I, even I, am the Most High, and beside me there is no Savior. I have declared, and I have saved, I have showed when there was no strange God among you. Therefore ye are my witnesses, saith the Most High, that I am Israel. Yea, before the day was, I am he, and there is none that can deliver out of my hand. I will work, and who shall let it? New heaven and a new earth." Now check this out. Isaiah 65. He said, "For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come into mind." What? "But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that have not filled his days." So everybody is going to grow to a certain age. Ain't going to be no more dying early. Watch. "For the child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner shall, being 100 years old, shall be accursed." So there you go, sis. You got, these are mortals that will be in the city. They will be able to die. A child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner, there's going to be sinners there that are going to transgress his law, being 100 years old, shall be accursed.
What chapter is this? Which book are you in?
I think Isaiah 60, hold on, let me go back, 65.
65.
Isaiah 65, we saw there verse 17. It says, "And they shall build houses and inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them. They shall not build and another inhabit. They shall not plant and another eat. For as the days of a tree are the days of my people, and mine elect shall long enjoy the works of their hand." He's talking about Israel. "They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble. For they are the seed of the blessed of the Most High, and their offsprings with them. And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. And the wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and the dust shall be the serpent's meat, and they shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, saith the Most High." Any questions? This is how his kingdom is going to be. This is how the earth is going to be. He said, we're going to create a new one. I'm going to redo everything. Ain't going to be no more bad water. It ain't going to be no more pollution. It ain't going to be no steam mills with stuff blowing all up in the air. It ain't going to be none. It ain't going to be no global warming. It's not going to be any of that. I am going to make sure that when I rule and I come back down here in this day and time, I'm going to refurbish everything. Because I'm not going to rule a contaminated planet. I'm gonna do a new thing. I'm finna clean it all up. You ain't have to worry about buying bottled water no more. You ain't have to worry about taking no vitamins anymore. You're not gonna have to worry about the meat being contaminated. You're not gonna have to worry about buying organic. You ain't gonna have to worry about none of that stuff. It's gonna be the way I designed it to be in the first place. Any questions? I'm gonna even clean out the heavens. All the gods that's up there, the evil spirit's gonna be gone. The principality's gonna be gone. All the powers is gonna be gone. Everything that has anything to do with the opposition that we are facing today will be no more. It's gonna be 1,000 years of peace up in the heavens and in the earth. Watch what he says. Zechariah chapter 8. And here we verse 1. And the word of the Most High of Hosts came unto me, saying, Thus saith the Most High of Hosts, I was jealous for Zion with a great jealousy, and I was jealous for her great fury. Thus saith the Most High of the Most High, I am returned unto Zion, and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth, and the mountain of the Most High of Hosts, the holy mountain. Thus saith the Most High of Hosts, there shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, and every man with his staff in his hand for very age. He said, I'm going to have old people in my kingdom. Watch what he says. And the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof. It's going to be a vibrant kingdom. They're going to be old people that's seasoned in age and wisdom talking and kids playing all in the street. And you know what? He wants a normal kingdom, and that's the way he's going to have it. Thus saith the Most High of Hosts, if it be marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of this people in these days, should it also be marvelous in mine eyes, saith the Most High of Hosts? He said, if this is what you want, don't you think I want the same thing? Thus saith the Most High of Hosts, behold, I will save my people from the east country and from the west country. And I will bring them, and they shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and they shall be my people, and I will be their Elohim in truth and in righteousness. Thus saith the Most High of Hosts, let your hands be strong, ye that hear in these days these words by the mouth of the prophets, which were in the day that the foundation of the house of the Most High's host was laid, that the temple might be built. For before these days there was no hire for man, nor any hire for beast, neither was there any peace to him that went out or came in, because of the afflictions, for I set all men every one against his neighbor. But now I will not be unto the residue of this people as in the former days, saith the Most High of Hosts. I ain't going to turn against you. For the seed shall be prosperous, and the vine shall give her fruit, and the ground shall give her increase. And the heavens shall give their due, and I will cause the remnant of this people to possess all these things. And it shall come to pass that as ye were a curse among the heathen, O house of Yehudah and house of Israel, so will I save you, and ye shall be a blessing. Fear not, but let your hands be strong. For thus saith the Most High of Hosts, as I thought to punish you when your fathers provoked me to wrath, saith the Most High of Hosts, and I repented not, so again have I thought in these days to do well unto Jerusalem and to the house of Yehudah. Fear ye not. These are the things that ye shall do. Speak ye every man the truth to his neighbor. Execute judgment of truth and peace in your gates. And let none of you imagine evil in your heart against his neighbor, and love no false oath, for all these things that I hate, saith the Most High of Hosts. And the word of the Most High of Hosts came unto me, saying, Thus saith the Most High of Hosts, the fast of the 4th month, and the fast of the 5th, and the fast of the 7th, and the fast of the 10th, shall be to the house of Yehudah joy and gladness, and cheerful feast. Therefore love truth and peace. Thus saith the Most High of Hosts, it shall yet come to pass that there shall come people and inhabitants of many cities. And the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, let us go speedily to pray before the Most High, and to seek the Most High of Hosts. I will go also. And many people and strong nations shall come to seek the Most High of Hosts in Jerusalem, and to pray before the Most High. And thus saith the Most High of Hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, and even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that Israel is with you. Wait a minute. Hold on. Any questions at all whatsoever? This is a model of what his kingdom is going to be. Anybody have any questions? Y'all done got quiet. This is what it is. This is what it's going to be.
What was the number of the last verse on that?
Let me see. Let me see what the last verse is on that one. Verse 23.
Thank you.
Yeah. There will be different nations and different languages, and everything's going to be there, and he's going to have a peaceful nation. He is. He's going to have a peaceful nation. You're going to have a peaceful nation, and this is what he's going to do and how he's going to do it. And this
Excuse me, Sister Ina.
Yes, ma'am.
What chapter are we reading again? I'm sorry.
I think it's Isaiah. Where are we at, y'all? Isaiah 65. Where were we at?
No, that was Zechariah.
Zechariah.
Okay.
Chapter 8, verse
8.
Chapter 8, verse 1 through 23.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep. Absolutely, and that's what we're going to have. All right, let me go back. I still got, y'all want to keep going or you want me to stop?
You can keep going.
Where you at?
Yeah,
All
keep going.
All right, well, let's go.
Sound good.
All right, the mountains. Here we go. Isaiah chapter 2. Write that down, sis. Isaiah chapter 2. The word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Yehudah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Most High's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. And many people shall go and say, come, and let us go up to the mountain of the Most High's house, to the Most High, to the house of the Elohim of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways. And we will walk in his paths, for out of Zion shall go forth the law. Oh, there go the law again. And the word of the Most High from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. O house of Jacob, come ye, and let us walk in the light of the Most High. Any questions? So his house is going to be in the top of the mountain. Just like he was when he was here with Moshe, and they landed on Mount Sinai, he going to land on Mount Sinai again. And I heard some Israelite groups talking about how mountain doesn't mean mountain. It means authority. It doesn't mean he's going to be in the mountain. It's like when he was in the mountain the first time. So how does that change? Because he said, I'm the Most High, change not. So when he came the first time, he was on top of the mountain because Moshe climbed it at least 8 to 10 times just to be able to communicate with him. So how does it mean authority now and it didn't mean authority in the first time when we came out of Egypt? Isaiah chapter 11, verse 1. It says, "And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, a branch shall grow out of his root. And the Spirit of the Most High shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Most High. And shall make him quick of understanding in the fear of the Most High. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove the equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. And the wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them." That's how calm his kingdom is going to be. They're going to be following around with a little bitty kid, like they pets. "And the cow and the bear shall feed. Their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. And the suckling child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice den. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of knowledge of the Most High, as the waters cover the sea. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Most High shall set his hand again the second time." Wait a minute. You mean he's going to get the Israelites, he's going to get the rest of the people after everything is set up? "And it shall come to pass in that day that the Most High shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Patros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, from Hamath, and from the isles of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Yehudah from the four corners of the earth. And the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Yehudah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Yehudah shall not vex Ephraim. But they shall fly up on the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west, and they shall spoil them of the east together. And they shall lay their hands upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. And the Most High shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his mighty wind he shall shake his hand over the river, and shall smite it in the seven streams, and make men to go over drawshod. And there shall be a highway for the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, like as it was to Israel in the day when he came out of the land of Egypt. So he's going to split the water so they can walk across on dry land again. Any questions? That's why I say you cannot rush this. You have to know your part that you're going to play, and you have to play your part. And that's why I tell everybody, our job is to just move the people from this country over to where we're supposed to go. And we're going to be put in a place of safety. Why it's just us? Because we did the 400 years. How he's going to move the rest of the people and when, I do not know.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
I do not know. Because the way this reads, he's going to already have things set up. And I think that's when he's going to gather the 10.5 tribes. The 9.5 tribes from the house of Israel. And the rest of Yehudah.
Can I ask, is this before the 1,000-year reign? I know we'll be gone, but the other tribes, the other 9.5.
It doesn't sound like. It doesn't sound like it. Let me go back and see, because it doesn't sound like it. Hold on, let's see. It doesn't sound like it. Let's see. Let me do it again. Listen very carefully to what it says, because it doesn't sound like it. Isaiah chapter 11, verse 1. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his root. And the Spirit of the Most High shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Most High. And shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Most High. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reign. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, so it's peace now, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion, and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. Let's see. And the cow and the bear shall feed, their young ones shall lie together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. And the suckling child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice den. And they shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of knowledge of the Most High, as the waters cover the sea. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Most High shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Patros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. Hold on. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Yehudah from the four corners of the earth. And the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Yehudah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Yehudah, and Yehudah shall not vex Ephraim. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west, and they shall spoil them of the east together. And they shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. And the Most High shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his mighty wind shall he shake his hand over the river, and shall smite it in the seven streams, and make men go over dry shod. So he's going to dry the land at the bottom, just like the Red Sea. And there shall be a highway for the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, like as it was to Israel in the day that he came up out of the land of Egypt. So they're going to be able to cross through that water just like they did in Egypt on dry land. That's what it says. So I don't know the levels and the disbursements and when how it's going to operate. I just know that we have to fulfill Genesis 15, 13, and 14. We have to go first.
Yep.
We have to go first. Anybody have any questions? Here, let's do Micah, and then we're gonna end it after this. Micah chapter 4. It says, "But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Most High shall be established in the top of the mountain, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow into it. And many nations shall come and say, Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Most High, and to the house of the Elohim of Jacob. And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths, for the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Most High from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. But they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid, for the mouth of the Most High of hosts hath spoken it. For all people will walk here we go. Now I want you all to get this, and I want all of the Gentile teachers and all of the people who have a video on YouTube that is telling all of your people that because Christ died on the cross, that he has become your Elohim. That is not true. You were given a God at the Tower of Babel, and this will explain it. It says, for all people will walk every one in the name of his God, and we will walk in the name of the Most High, our Elohim, forever and ever. And even though you get to come into his kingdom, and even though you get to prosper in his kingdom, and even though you're allowed there, he is still the Elohim of Israel, and you will come in the name of the God that you were given at the Tower of Babel. It will not leave you. You won't leave you. In that day, saith the Most High, will I assemble her that halted, and I will gather her that is driven out, and her that I have afflicted. And I will make her that halted a remnant, and her that was cast far off a strong nation, and the Most High shall reign over them in Mount Zion from henceforth even forever. And thou, O tower of the flock, the stronghold of the daughters of Zion, the daughter of Zion, unto thee shall they come, even the first dominion, the kingdom shall come to the daughter of Jerusalem. Any questions?
Sister Aina, I do.
Yes, ma'am.
So we just read that they're going to be with their God forever and ever. Where are they going to be at?
What we just been talking about? What is the whole lesson about? You tell me. What is it about?
Us returning to the Most High.
His kingdom, right?
Yes.
So they're going to be in his kingdom, but they're not going to be. See, they think that the Most High is going to be their God because they've been allowed to come into his kingdom, but he's not. They're still going to have. He's going to be the king over the whole earth, but they're going to have to still come in the name of the God that they were given.
So they're going to be in the kingdom with their God? Their God's going to be in the kingdom too?
No, I didn't say that. I said they will come in the name of their God.
Oh. Okay.
I did not say that. I said they will come in the name of their God. So instead of like he said, he chose Israel to be his own, right? He said, I'm going to be your God and you're going to be my people, right? Yeah. Well, the Gentile believes, because they've been taught in Christianity, that because Christ died, he died for everyone, so he's going to be their God, and that's not true. They're just going to be allowed to be in his kingdom, but in order for them to come approach him, they're going to have to come in the name of their God. So it's really like a humbling for them and a humbling for the gods that he has destroyed, because they're going to still, like Germany. We are from the nation of Germany. We come in the name of the God of Thor. And it's a way to make them bow down and give him reverence.
And
if that makes
sense. Yeah, that makes sense. And is that during 1,000 years?
Yes, that's when he runs his kingdom. That's the only time he's going to run his kingdom, because he will not come as long as the Gentile is in charge, until the time of the Gentile be what?
Fulfilled.
The Gentile is going to be trodden in Jerusalem, and Jerusalem is going to be trodden down by the Gentile until the time of the Gentile be fulfilled. He's not coming to do anything until their time is done. That's it. Nothing else. Once their time is up, we just talked about this. That's what we've been talking about for the last 3 weeks. He's going to come and wage war. We're going to clean up the dead bodies. He's going to regenerate the whole earth, change everything, get rid of all the crap and all the bad water and all the bad food and all the pesticides and all the stuff that we've been having to eat. He's going to redo everything, and then he's going to set up his kingdom. And then the nations that make it in the kingdom, they will be the ones to be the service staff because they're not going to run his kingdom. In Daniel chapter 2, it says that his kingdom will not be left to other people. Won't be left to other people. But it's going to do what it set out to do. Let me see if I have any more. Hold on one moment. Now, I think we can do one more. Y'all want one more? I'm going to show you what's going to happen with the kings and the queens. Isaiah 49. It says, first verse 1. I hope you're writing these scriptures down. It says, listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, ye people from far. The Most High has called me from the womb. From the bowels of my mother have he mentioned of my name. He has made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand hath he hid me, and made me a polished shaft. In his quiver hath he hid me. And he said unto me, Thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. Then I said, I have labored in vain, I have spent my strength for naught, and in vain. Yet surely my judgment is with the Most High, and my works with my Elohim. And now saith the Most High that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him. Though Israel be not gathered, yet will I be glorified in the eyes of the Most High, and my Elohim shall be my strength. Watch what he says. And he said unto me, It is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to restore the preserved of Israel. And I will also give thee for a light to the Gentile, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth. Thus saith the Most High, the Redeemer of Israel, and his Holy One, to him whom man despises, to him whom the nations abhor, to a servant of rulers, kings shall see and arise. Princes also shall worship, because the Most High that is faithful, and the Holy One of Israel, and he shall choose thee. Watch. Thus saith the Most High, in an acceptable time have I heard thee, in a day of salvation have I helped thee, and I will preserve thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people to establish the earth, and to cause inheritance the desolate heritages. That thou mayest say to the prisoner, Go forth, and to them that are in darkness, show yourselves. They shall feed in the ways, and their pastures shall be in all high places. They shall not hunger nor thirst, neither shall the heat nor the sun smite them. For he that hath mercy on them shall lead them, even by the springs of the water shall he guide them. And I will make all my mountains a way, and my highways shall be exalted. Behold, these shall come from far, and lo, these from the north and from the west, and these from the land of Sinim. Sing, O heavens, and be joyful, O earth, and break forth into singing, O mountains, for the Most High has comforted his people, and will have mercy upon his afflicted. But Zion saith, the Most High has forsaken me. My Elohim has forgotten me. Can a woman forget her suckling child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yea, they may forget, yet will I not forget thee. Behold, I have graven thee upon the palms of my hands. Thy walls are continually before thee. Thy children shall make haste, thy destroyers, and they that made thee way shall go forth from thee. Lift up thine eyes round about, and behold, all these gather themselves together and come to thee. As I live, saith the Most High, thou shalt surely clothe thee with them all, as with an ornament, and bind them on thee as a bride doeth. For thy waste and thy desolate places and the land of thy destruction even now be too narrow by reason of the inhabitants, and they that swallowed thee up shall be far away. The children which thou shalt have after thou hast lost the other shall say again in thine ear, the place is too strait for me. Give place to me that I may dwell. Then shalt thou say in thine heart, who has begotten thee? Saying, I have lost my children and am desolate, a captive and removing to and fro. And who has brought up these? Behold, I was left alone. These where had they been? Where had they been? Where had they been? And thus saith the Most High Elohim, behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentile and set my standard to the people. So he's talking about the people that are still left. They still in the land. They haven't been gathered together. Watch what he says. Watch what he says. He says, and they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. And they shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am the Most High, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty, or the lawful captive delivered? But thus saith the Most High, even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. And I will contend with him that contendeth with thee, and I will save thy children. And I will feed them that oppress thee with their own flesh, and they shall be drunken with their own blood as with sweet wine. And all flesh shall know that I am the Most High, I am thy Savior, that I, the Most High, am thy Savior, and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. Any questions? This has all got to happen. That's why I said there's too much that has to happen for everybody to be rushing it and the story over already. It's too much. He's got this set up in certain sections where he's going to do certain things. We don't have it all laid out and mapped out. All I know is that right now we are responsible for Genesis 15, 13, and 14. Any questions, comments, anything?
Very
Anybody?
good lesson.
Huh?
No, I said very good lesson.
Well, I'm glad. That is his kingdom. And you know, then I have one more scripture I'm going to give for next week where it says that we are going to be put over the nation and we will be leading them and telling them where to go and what to do and to make sure that everything goes appropriately. And then we know after the 1,000 years, Satan is going to be loose for a season.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So when will they lick the dust off thy feet and carry us on their shoulders? Is that when, like when we're going to the boat, are they going to carry us to the boat?
That doesn't apply to you, sweetheart. When you get to the boat, you're going to walk to the boat. Those are for those that are left behind that he's bringing from different places. Because we don't have any kings and queens. That doesn't apply to you.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to walk to the boat and get on the boat just like we walked to the boat in the first time when we left the first time and got on the boat. When we came here, we walked there. When we leave, we're going to walk there. That's not for us. We're going to already go to the place of safety. And we're going to be put in a place of safety. Because I believe that those 20 souls that got off that boat was royalty. And I believe that we are the descendants of those royals from the royal house of King David. And I believe we have to be spared. We have to go first. We are part of the whole seed of Judah. We have to go first. We completed the 400 years. We have to fulfill that. That's our part. That's the part that we play. You know. Now, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, they may be around to see the second part, but I know that this is our part that we have to play right now. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything?
I believe what I get out of all this is chronologically, we don't necessarily know how it all is going to come into play, but no matter what, this illustrates how the Most High is faithful to his people and how he will honor his word to our forefathers. So it's beautiful just to hear the scriptures.
Absolutely. Let me cut the recording off. You guys, I hope you've enjoyed our recording. Don't forget we have a radio show on tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We would love for you to join us. The number is 718-664-9551. Thank you so much for joining.